Gary asks if Casey Thompson was promised QB1 for 22. It would be interesting to hear those conversations.
Yeah, it would. It really would. I don't. That's hard to say if you're recruiting somebody and you're going to promise him the number one spot. I don't know how well that flies with either
Yeah.
player or the coach. Really, I mean, I got to feel that these guys want to come in and compete for the job.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, but saying that is that Casey Thompson was brought in here obviously to be the number one guy, and now with the end of spring, when Chubba Purdy actually recovered from his injury and started participating in spring, might have thrown a little bit of a monkey wrench into that because he actually looked really good and he shined pretty well in the spring game. So there might be a little bit more of a quarterback competition going on for that number one spot right now, just by judging what you saw in the spring. Not quite with the spring game because obviously Casey Thompson only got in there for 2 series. That's all they kind of wanted from him, but everything you hear is very positive about Casey Thompson, and obviously, like we saw at the end, that the Chubba Purdy actually can play at a pretty high level too. So I love it. I think it's a nice problem to have right now that you have 2 guys that are veterans that are going to go in and compete. Every practice is going to be a competition. So I like it. I think it's pretty cool to see here finally in Nebraska.
Yeah. Again, it would be interesting to hear the conversation. I would hope that it's not promised, and I hope that the player would respect that it's not promised.
I don't see how you can do that.
Really. Yeah, I don't see how you can do it either. And it's almost like if your boss told you everything you wanted to hear and told you could screw off and not do what you wanted, well, you might want to hear that and be like, wow, this is a great place to work. But if you really thought about it, you'd think, is this where I want to work? Is this really long term? Is this a productive place, a professional place? It sounds good.
Yeah.
But I think guys understand that they want to be in a favorable position. Casey Thompson doesn't want to go somewhere and have to battle Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers for the starting quarterback job. But at the same time, he's going to understand that there's going to be some competition, and he wants to be, because if there's quarterback competition, then there's competition everywhere, and he wants to play for a winner.
And you know what, too? I think something that you got to think about, too, to factor into it is that, these guys chose to come here after Mark Whipple was named the offensive coordinator. And with his track record, that, he provides a pretty good path to the NFL as a guy that's been at the NFL level and been very successful at the NFL level. And, I hate to keep beating on the Mark Whipple drum, but I think it makes a huge difference with getting some of these high level guys that, they have their sights set on playing in the NFL. And, the competition to them is secondary because they can still get reps under a guy like Mark Whipple and hone their craft before their time is up. And we know Casey, Chubba Purdy's got more time here at Nebraska than Casey Thompson does too. So Chubba Purdy knows that he will get his chance one way or the other. So, like I said earlier, it's a nice problem to have if you're Coach Frost or Coach Whipple right now. And we don't even mention a guy like Logan Smothers, who has gutted it out, and who knows if he's going to stay with the program or not here come Sunday. But you got a lot of guys in that quarterback room right now. With Heinrich Harber here as well, and Richard Torres, and you got an incoming kid in Watson coming in next year. Yeah, you got a ton of guys. It's a nice problem to have.